Hey guys, it's Christy, and now I'm going to do my little second audiobook type of recommendation. And this is more for the spiritual, self-improvement, self-help type of book. So if you're not into this, by all means, click out of it, because I don't want you to watch something that you're not interested in, because who likes to do that? So I just have 5 recommendations for these types of books. I'm pretty new to this whole genre of books. I like to listen to a self-improvement book or whatever in the morning, and you know, for a half hour to an hour, and it really just gets my day like going. So here are my top 5 that I've listened to so far. I don't know how many I've listened to, quite a few, but these are my top 5. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and she also wrote Eat, Pray, Love. So if you enjoyed that, I think that you will really enjoy this one as well. And this book was narrated by her, so that just is like the icing on top of the cake. I love when audiobooks are read by the author. The next is The 5 Love Languages, and that's by Gary Chapman. I think most people have like heard of The 5 Love Languages. You know, everybody loves and receives love differently, and this book was just very, very, very interesting to see how, like, and not only in just like love, but also in any relationships, like mother-daughter relationships or like father-daughter relationships and whatnot. I feel like this book really helped me a lot to understand that people in my life don't love the exact way that I do. So I don't know, if you're having some like issues, not even issues, I think that this book is just great for anybody to read, and I really liked the audiobook version of it. So yes, jump on that one definitely. Daring Greatly, and that is by Brené Brown. That book was really good, and it had a lot to do with just like being vulnerable, which is really hard for a lot of people, myself included. So I really enjoyed listening to her talk about how she was able to just like let her vulnerability show to the people she loved, and I really enjoyed listening to her stories. The next was The Brain Fog Fix, and that's by Mike Dow. That had a lot to do with like taking medication for like, I don't know, also we'll say like ADD, depression, anxiety. A lot of people are on medication for these things, and diabetes as well, I know they touched on, but it kind of told you like, you know, his feelings on how like you could feel like your brain's in a type of fog if you take certain medications, and you know, here are some other things that can help, like changing your diet or all sorts of other things. I'm sure you guys all know my stance. I take medication for anxiety and depression and insomnia and, you know, whatever. Like I take medication, and I believe that it works for me, and that's fine. If you don't believe that it works for you, like, do what you want. By all means, don't listen to me. I am no like expert on the subject, but I found that medications do help me. I also like to listen to other people's takes on it though, because I don't know, I find it really interesting to see what other people like to do in similar situations or other situations and all of that stuff. So yeah, that one could be a little, I don't know, that's a book like it's either for you or it's not for you. If you're for medication, like, and you don't want to hear anybody else's opinion on it, I wouldn't read this book. But if you have a very open mind, like I myself do, go for it. I think that he explains things really well, like his reasonings behind his thoughts. And the last one is The Untethered Soul, and that is by Michael. I didn't put the last name. So I know his first name is Michael, but yeah, that's a pretty popular one as of late, and I believe that's the first one that I listened to because it was the first one available at my library, and I really enjoyed that one. I think that, yeah, that one just like got me into listening to self-help audiobooks every morning, and I enjoyed them. So if you have any other recommendations for me, please leave them down below. As I said, I've read like quite a few other ones that like I liked too, but they just like weren't my top 5 favorites. I can continue to do this kind of series. My other one was novel audiobook recommendations, and clearly this one was spiritual. So yeah, let me know down below or on Twitter. some other recommendations, or if you've read these ones and liked or disliked them, and let's have a conversation. I will talk to you guys soon.